Hi everyone, welcome to this Q&A session with the founder of VOA. Now, I have here with me Victoria Olabisi Adekoya. She's a social entrepreneur, educator, humanitarian and philanthropist. She's the founder of Values of Affordable Education, aka VOA Foundation and Charity, promoting STEM education and arts. With over 25 years work experience with various biotechs and pharmaceutical companies, and a few years ago started her own consulting business. Currently, she's working on educating, training, and providing jobs in clinical trials to the talents in Africa. She's also a mother of 4 children. Thank you for joining us here today, Olabisi. How are you doing?
Thank you, Justina. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Right. So before I'm just going to ask you this first question. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this before, but if you were a billboard, if Olabisi was a billboard, what would that billboard be? Like if everybody were to pass by and see this billboard, what would they say this billboard is?
It will be broken, undamaged, beautiful, and making impact. That would be my goal.
Great. Broken, undamaged. What else?
Beautiful.
Making impact. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much. So this billboard has a lot going on. Like it's a billboard that has come from a place of being broken and then being shaped and being formed, right? So just tell us what has shaped who you are and what inspired you to found VOA Charity.
Thank you for that question, and that's a wonderful icebreaker that I did not expect. And it's encompassing who I am and where I've come from. So how did I get here? It's a journey. Life is a journey, and we're still on that journey. My childhood, I was born and I grew up in Nigeria for the first 16 years of my life. And that was highly impactful of a lot of things about my upbringing. And then at 16, that was a timeline. I found myself relocating to the UK when my mom told me, I thought I was going for summer vacation, but I'd finished my secondary school now. And my mom decided, you're not coming back. I didn't realize I had a one-way ticket at that point. That to me I came up with so many excuses, and she had a counter ready for them. So I didn't tell my friends goodbye. She said, don't worry, I will tell all of them goodbye for you. And on. Whatever I said, she had the answer ready. I'm like, did you know I wasn't going to come back? She said, yes. But she didn't tell me. So for me, that was a very transformative journey. And suddenly I had to grow up as an adult. I had to make decisions for myself. Although I was placed in a family that had with an adult there, but most of the decisions I found myself suddenly without my parent or without my mom to consult. So that for me, that was a life-changing event. And then I realized all of a sudden what I grew up with, it was a different story on the other side when I found myself crossing culture. It's a matter of when you didn't even know you were poor until you see better, because you're the only one in your neighborhood who had black and white TV. So for me, life has been a journey, but through it all, the ups and the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly of life, it has made me a better version of myself. And I'm at a point where I can embrace it all for good.
Right. But you said something very that I picked out from what you said, and it is the fact that your growing up shaped you to want to do this. But I wanted you to talk to me about why did you choose to start a charity organization? What was your motivation?
Yes, that's a good point. Thank you for that reminder. So for the charity, as a young child, actually, I wanted to become a philanthropist. I heard the word maybe on radio, and I was like, what is that? But I also noticed that my lifestyle, I served. I like to serve. Another thing I wanted to be as a young person was to become a health minister for my country. I wanted to go in the health side of things, and I wanted to serve people. I wanted to make people's lives better. That was my beginning while I was navigating life. And over the years, I have also served in many capacities as a missionary. I've gone to many countries, served, especially during my lowest time. It was a good resetting for me to go to places like Haiti, places where people don't go, in Mexico, Juarez. And what led to VOA Charity being born was in recent years. So I have few timelines where life happens and it just resets me. I went through a phase of life where the most important things that I thought were important were taken from me. When all those labels are removed from you, who are you? Who am I? I had no choice but to transmute the pain that I'd gone through in those recent years, in the past decade, I have to say. I had to transmute that pain into something more purposeful. I had to live beyond myself. I had to re-evolve and find myself. So it wasn't about serving other people anymore. All I had was myself. I looked, and there was no place to look but up. Like, okay, when you have nowhere else to go, I had to look inside of me and work with what I had. And at a certain point in life, sometimes all you have is you. There's nobody else to run to call, or that can bear that pain. It's like a childbirth pain. Even the people who love you can be there, but they can't push for you. They can't do and endure for you. And at that point, I went into labor of myself. And VOA Charity was born in 2022 when I decided, after working on myself, now I can go out there and make an impact as part of my healing.
Right. Wow, that's some story there. That's really something. And there's something I picked out from. There's this saying that goes, "Pain is a gift." Pain is a gift. So it is the amount. It is what you do with that pain that you are given that determines how your future will be shaped. So you either see it as something worrisome or as a gift as a stepping stone to getting to where you want to be. But there is another thing that is paramount for VOA Charity, and that's STEM education. Why is STEM education so important? Why are you focused in this area?
Yes, thank you. Again, another thing I should say about this work with the charity and the foundation is the connection. It reconnects me to my earlier days, my youth. Remember I said I grew up so fast at the age of 16, where I had to become an adult and do all that stuff. I had to get jobs and do my A-levels at the same time and send money home to my mother, who was a single parent. I was supposed to be getting money, but I was the one doing the adult stuff. So why STEM? I've always liked sciences. I went to a public school in Lagos where I love chemistry, biology, math, and all that. That was for me those were easy subjects. And I was one of the students that our chemistry teacher will call up to actually teach the rest of my class chemistry, in case they were not hearing from him. There were two of us. I was one of the students he would call. The other one is Bumi, my best friend. And we will teach chemistry and he would just stand behind the class with his hands crossed, looking at us. So I found I was interested in science from an early age, and I found I didn't always take what people told me was as the truth. I wanted to test it out. I was inquisitive, and I wanted to pursue those. But growing up in Nigeria, we didn't even have a proper laboratory. Talk less of me trying to go and test what is in okra that would make people's teeth really fall out or not, as the case was, until I got to the UK at the age of 16, when I started my chemistry A-levels. I suddenly saw a proper equipped laboratory, and I went wild. I was like, what? All those things we were studying, diagrams and theory in Lagos. I think only in my lab in Lagos, the only thing I remember was the poster of a skeleton in our laboratory, because it was a public school. Sometimes you don't even have teachers when you must pass. That was what I went through in my first 16 years in Nigeria. So coming to the UK, and I saw a proper lab, I'm like, wow, this is Boy's Law, apparatus, this is that. And I came alive. So I was very thankful, though as traumatic as that transitioning to the UK against my will was, I made the most of it. And I wanted more. I had everything at my beck and call when it comes to science to actually test. Great supervisors and a community. So for me, I feel so blessed that looking back, I was a girl from Surulere that had no science lab. And it's like that for many, many students. And having come so far with very little beginning especially, I thought, how else to give back to others who are still in this place? So I did a few work with my alma mater also, like just profiling and talking to them, like, I used to be where you are. Look at me. Look at other people that I bring also who have gone through the same journey. But keep at it. Just keep showing up. One day, the dots will connect and it will make sense. So for me, it's important that we gave other students the opportunity that we have benefited from.
Right. That's really amazing. And that would bring me to my next question. While you were talking about giving students the opportunity, and I think mentorship has a very key role to play when it comes to giving opportunities, because for you who didn't have at the beginning, you didn't have somebody who could tell you how these things could be done. What role did mentorship play in your success? Was there any impact it had in your success?
Thank you for that question. Mentorship. And while some people have a good framework growing up, I could say I didn't have that growing up when it comes to career or education and guidance. So you had to figure it out. But I'm thankful that while in my early days, I had one neighbor who actually took time to teach me mathematics, which was fun. I used to do math for fun. If you tell me to come and do Bible study, no, not Bible, RK, religious knowledge and all the history, I'm like, it's too much words. I just want numbers. Give me chemistry, give me math. So my neighbor, he took the time, sat with me, and we would just do maths together. I appreciated that. So when I left Nigeria and I got to the UK, I had another mentor who, he gave me personal development books. And the first book he gave me was The Road Less Traveled. That was the very first personal development book I read. And that changed my life. I was like, wow, there are different ways to see things. The way you want to go, the best way is not usually the common route. You don't see a lot of people there. And it encouraged me to pursue my dreams, even if it's not common. The Road Less Traveled. And after that, I've read so many books, consequently. And I see how it's very important to have a mentor. A mentor is like a GPS a navigation system that will help you guide you. So if you're able to only see 20%, for those who are still trying to navigate their way, we bring other mentors. We have mentors from the US, we have in multiple industry, we have our mentees in Nigeria presently, and we tell them, pay attention because we're developing you to be mentors in future. So we call them our mentors in training. Actually, they're our MITs. Pay attention. We're not going to teach you what you don't necessarily know per se, but we will help you bring out the best that you already have in you and to become a better version of yourself. So it's great to have people to walk alongside of you.
Yeah, and you spoke about, I heard you when you spoke about the different mentorship programs, and I wanted to ask what are the major initiatives that VOA Charity has embarked on so far?
Great. In the past year, we did a lot of back to school supplies, where we thankfully were able to give back to school supplies to over 1,000 students in public schools. And part of that was also talking to them, teaching them what their rights are as a human being. Within the back to school supplies were personal hygiene products, were dental products, stationeries, underwears, socks, things that the children are in need of. That's on the other side in Nigeria. Our scholarship program is one of our flagship brand programs that we do. And this is given scholarships it's a competitive scholarship to students who qualify based on merit and needs to universities in Nigeria. And we focus on the private universities in Nigeria for a reason. We also have our Nigerian Children in White Coats event. Again, we're promoting the STEM, the hands-on sciences. We don't want students to continue reading about science or looking at diagrams. We want them to feel and know science and how STEM applies to everybody. I tell people, if you have a cell phone, you're already practicing STEM. You're still human. We are human. So it's important that we also add the soft skills to what we already do.
I love that VOA Charity has moved from STEM to STEAM. I think that's what it's called, from STEM to STEAM. I remember when we spoke to Neha the other time, and she spoke about the incorporation of arts in STEM education. I would like to ask, how are you feeling this gap? First of all, when you see all of this, which is why VOA Charity was bettered in the first place, and for all of these educational purposes. So what are your future plans for VOA Charity, and how do you see this shaping up and the future for these kids?
That's a great question. So the reason we started off with the STEM and exposing and developing and promoting STEM is because Africa has a huge human resource as a capital. We have 20.2 million children out of school in Nigeria. The unemployment rate is high. We need to start thinking of having the solutions within ourselves. What can we use where we are? So if we can position our children and empower and equip them so that they can earn money from where they are, earn skills, and be empowered from where we are. Everybody cannot jackpot. And for those who are left in the continent, what options are we giving them? If jackpot is the only thing that they know, then that's what they will look towards, thinking, oh, the solution is always on the other side of if we get out. But can we bring the solutions to them or help them develop the solutions? And this is why we're encouraging, I'm personally in the clinical trial space, and that's why we are also looking at this as a workforce option. So when we educate the students, for example, educate the people, again, my motto is you can talk about the problems all day long and tomorrow, or we can be part of the solution. It's more worthwhile for me to be part of the solution, knowing that we have the need and we have the means to solve our own problems.
Right. I love that closing you gave, that we have the needs and we have the needs to solve our own problems. So This is now a personal question as we wrap up. What would you like to tell your younger self? What do you wish you could tell your younger self right now?
Wow. First of all, I'd like to give my younger self a big hug. I'd like to say thank you. You did it. It wasn't easy, but you did it. What would we do differently? I would tell my younger self, play more. I was so serious. It was forbidden. You must succeed no matter what. I was under the impression that you cannot fail. But now I would tell my younger self, even failure is part of the success journey. It's okay. Play, learn from all of it. But above all, gratitude is what I want to tell my younger self.
Great. Thank you. Fantastic. I love that. Absolutely. You have made mention of two things: play and learn. Play, learn, and gratitude. I think three things: play, learn, and gratitude. Always be grateful for every stage you get to. And I would like to ask one last question. What impact would you like to be remembered for?
Yes. One big lesson I also learned is life is not linear. We were taught, oh, this is supposed to come after this. This is supposed to come after that. No, it didn't happen like that. And if it doesn't happen like that, it doesn't mean I have failed. So for me, the impact I want to leave is that I made the world a better place, better than how I met it. That's what I like to be known for, especially when it comes to education and educating the youth.
Thank you so much. So let's just finally, how can people get involved with VOA Charity? I know that there are mentors and there are donors, but can you just share with us how people can get involved with VOA Charity when they want?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. We have our website, which is voacharity.org. We also have our social media, VOA Charity, on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. And you can always check our website for more details. But we're looking for, the work is much. And we're a young foundation. We're looking for alliances and synergy with similar organizations that have similar mission. There are over so many children that need our help, and we can't always look to the government to solve the problem.
There are many things out there, there are many words out there, and everybody needs help. Everybody needs that one hand that would hold them and just lead them along the way. Thank you very much, Olabisi, for gracing our screen. Thank you so much. Values of affordable education. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Q&A session. Thank you all and have a lovely day. Bye.